When competitive eater Miki Sudo takes the stage tomorrow at Nathan's famous international hot dog eating contest, she will be the favorite to win the title again. Miki is the top-ranked female competitive eater in the world, ranked number 3 overall. We gave you a little preview last week, and this time Terry Holloman asks her about winning strategies.
Okay, Miki, let's just jump right into it. You're the 8-time world international eating champion. What are some of the secrets to being a championship eater?
Every food's going to test a different discipline, but honestly, I think the biggest factors for me are just having a really competitive spirit. I think that's really what's kept me at the top for all these years. I hate losing even more than I enjoy winning. So being incredibly competitive also doesn't hurt to love food.
You said you took 1 year off from competitive eating. Why did you do that?
It was for the only acceptable reason, actually. So I'm coming back to Coney Island for my 10th year. I'm super excited, but this will only be my 9th belt because in 2021, I was actually 37 weeks pregnant with my son, Max. So they allowed me to serve as guest commentator, which was an amazing experience, but I did not compete that year. So there's a little gap on my wall. I'm still undefeated at Coney Island, but yeah, that was my 1 year off.
I guess being pregnant is a good enough excuse. Your belly was already full. We'll let you slide with that one.
Honestly, my son is amazing. Everybody's going to say that. I'm biased, but he's like better than any trophy. He's like the best prize I've gotten out of competitive eating.
Right on. So let's talk working out and getting ready for something like this, because even though it's eating, I'm sure it's not something you just walk into and not be prepared for. How do you get ready for a competition like this?
Yeah, so my practice and preparation really has 3 parts to it. And I think people just assume that we practice with food, which we do. So I'll line up 10 minutes worth of hot dogs and practice that way, or I'll do a speed run, but that's really only a third. Another portion of that would be, for me, it's a lot of cardio. People incorporate different routines in the gym. I like doing cardio because honestly, if I can run on the treadmill for 45 minutes in a hoodie, I can probably withstand the New York heat on the 4th of July, exerting all that energy. And finally, there's really the mental component. I go back and watch my old footage. I fine tune my technique and really critique what I'm doing so that I can always improve.
So are there different techniques for different things that you eat? Because I know you do hot dogs on July the 4th, and then there's even kimchi and ice cream and all different things. So there are different techniques for different foods? Absolutely.
Some foods are more technique driven, like for hot dogs, for example. A lot of us will grab 2 meats and followed by 2 buns. There's dunking involved. I'm actually switching up my technique a little bit this year to hopefully hit a higher number. I typically run out of time before I run out of space. So technique's big in hot dogs. For something like chili, you're really just spooning food into your mouth. It's more of a capacity-based contest. So different foods test different techniques.
Okay, you mentioned the dunking. Now, some of those people out here watching might not be familiar with the hot dog eating contest. You're not just grabbing hot dogs and shoving them in your mouth with the bun and everything. What is the dunking technique?
So to really be competitive at the high level, you really need, every movement and every split second counts. So by dunking the bun into your fluid, I use warm flavored water. By doing that, you really save taking a bite and taking a sip. So it saves time, it's more efficient, and you actually consume less water. It's a technique that allows you to eat more in a 10-minute duration. It's not for flavor, if anybody was wondering. It's not how I normally choose to eat my hot dog.
So yeah, the water's not to add enhanced flavors, to make it sure that it goes down to consistency.
Yeah,
and
the flavor enhancement is really just to cut up the flavor of the hot dog. I might start with regular water, but I'll switch to, I use strawberry, orange, banana flavored water. It's just a personal preference. I'm used to it. To me, that tastes like victory. So it's tricking your brain so that flavor fatigue doesn't overwhelm you in the later parts of the contest.
We talked earlier about the things that you do to get prepared for this, both physically and mentally. I don't think people take into consideration the mental aspect of it. Can you speak to that? I think you've eaten 48 and a half hot dogs. What is it like when you get to hot dog number 46 and your brain is telling you?
Yeah, I've been doing this for 10 years now. Even before you get to hot dog number 46, you're going to hit walls and obstacles. And this is not just for competitive eating and hot dogs, but just in life in general. You're going to get to moments where you just don't want to give on, where you just want to say, forget this. I throw in the towel. It's too hard. It's too difficult. But you have to find that reason or that voice inside your head saying, like, this is not where you give up. You have more in you. You keep going. So like whether I'm eating hot dogs or I'm just having a really rough day, I'm like, this is not where you fold. You know, keep going, keep going. And at least at the table, I can say, like, it's all over in 10 minutes. Just put through that effort. And I also tell myself, when it's difficult, good, because it's difficult for everybody. You know, the true champions are going to like keep going, and that's what you are.
Such inspiring words. But I could have lived without knowing about that flavored water. Bet you won't stop thinking about that.